Imagine a footballer playing at his very best. He's confident, knows his role perfectly, and controls the game with ease. But what happens when this mental and physical balance is thrown off? For physical injuries, players have plenty of specialists, surgeons, physiotherapists, and doctors ready to help them get back on track. But what about mental struggles? Stress, lack of confidence, or even anxiety can hit a player hard. Yet they often go unnoticed because in the fast-paced world of sports, mental health can be easily overlooked. This is where a sports psychologist steps in, and more teams are starting to see just how important it is. A good psychologist can help a player get their confidence back, overcome mental hurdles, and even boost their performance on the pitch. In fact, most top clubs now work closely with sports psychologists. Afke van de Wouw, a sports psychologist for the Dutch club Vitesse, explains it best. If you look at top clubs, almost every one of them has some kind of sports psychology program, especially for young players. And why not? When the difference between winning and losing can be just one mental mistake or a moment of hesitation, having your head in the right place is a game changer. Teams that invest in mental strength have the extra edge, which can make all the difference on match day. So if every football team wants to stay ahead, having a sports psychologist isn't just a nice to have. It's a must.
You can walk and talk. It's just different compared to sit in a classroom or a meeting room.
Sometimes it's just that little 5 to 10 minutes chat with him that just lightens up your mood. I think he's really nice to have around.
Psychology is one of the most overlooked aspects of football, even though it's just as crucial as physical training. Unlike injuries or tactical decisions, the mental side of the game rarely gets the spotlight because it's often kept behind closed doors. But top clubs like Arsenal have long understood its importance. Take Arsene Wenger, for example. He's been a pioneer in focusing on the mental side of football, incorporating sports psychology into his coaching for years. And to help with that, he brought in experts like Dr. Tim O'Brien, a highly regarded psychologist who worked with Arsenal during the days of legends like Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry. O'Brien isn't your typical sports psychologist. He's an expert in understanding the whole person. He spent nearly a decade behind the scenes, focusing on how a player's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors all connect and affect performance on the pitch. The key, according to him, is helping players understand their inner story, the mindset that shapes everything they think and do. When players understand their mental patterns, they're better equipped to unlock their full potential. Football isn't just a physical or tactical game. It's a mental one, too. Players are constantly making rapid, split-second decisions. Imagine how fast the Premier League is. Every pass, dribble, and shot is influenced by a player's mental state. This is why more clubs are bringing in psychologists to help players sharpen this mental edge. And the trend is growing fast because coaches and managers are realizing that, at the highest levels, a strong mindset can be the difference between winning and losing. So it's no wonder that having someone to guide players through the mental battles of a game is becoming a must-have. After all, if you want to dominate on the pitch, you've got to win the battle in your head first. Imagine being inside a footballer's head for 90 intense minutes. It's not just about making passes and scoring goals. The real game is happening inside their mind, dealing with shifting momentum, pressure, confidence dips, and unexpected challenges. Without the right psychological tools, staying focused and composed is incredibly tough. That's why sports psychologists have become a must-have for many top clubs. Nowadays, most teams employ full-time sports psychologists to help players manage the ups and downs of the game.
Let alone then the internal struggles that we all have as individuals and our own experiences of sport and life, because of course athletes are human beings too, and every time they step into a sporting environment they bring with them whatever they're experiencing at home, in their personal lives, and so on.
Arsenal, for instance, recently hired Dr. Ceri Evans.
Win and lose doesn't take you to your potential. It's about putting yourself in environments where you're testing yourself. Is the moment too big for you emotionally? Can you stay in there? And when you ask people this question, the test they've set themselves, well, if they've met every test, every challenge that they've set themselves, then it's not worthy of the name, is it? You've got to fall short for it to be a proper challenge.
The man behind New Zealand's Rugby World Cup triumph to boost their mental game. This isn't just about individual performance. It's about the whole team's mindset. You see, football squads are like small communities that need to be mentally in sync to succeed. A good psychologist ensures that every player and even the coaching staff knows how to put the team's needs first. It's about building a group mentality where everyone's on the same page, especially during high-pressure situations. As Dr. Tim O'Brien explains, you need people who put others' needs before their own when the team requires it. It's about understanding your role and how it fits into the bigger picture. Another crucial point is leadership. Many think a team's captain has to be the loudest on the pitch, shouting orders. But true leadership comes from living the team's values both on and off the pitch, and inspiring others to do the same. That's why having distributed leadership, where every player understands their role and responsibilities, is vital. If a team is mentally aligned, each member knows what's expected of them, respects their teammates, and stays focused. They're far better equipped to handle the mental chaos of the game. That's what separates a good team from a great one. And this is exactly where sports psychologists play a crucial role, making sure the players not only train their bodies, but also strengthen their minds to stay ahead of the competition. In football, getting players to open up about their mental health can be one of the toughest parts of the job for a sports psychologist. Many players don't think they need help, or they worry about the stigma attached to talking about mental struggles. That's why building trust and understanding is crucial. Lee Richardson, a former player, coach, and now a psychologist, knows this challenge all too well.
What this experience I think has highlighted is how connected we are, how connected we can be, and perhaps how connected we haven't been over the years, maybe with different people.
He's worked with the players at Liverpool and found that they've been some of the most open to discussing their mental game. This openness is what he calls a mastery approach, a mindset where players just want to get better no matter what it takes. Richardson's unique background gives him an edge. He's been on the pitch, felt the pressure, and understands the highs and lows that come with being a professional footballer. This experience means he knows when to approach a player and when to back off. Sometimes it's about being direct and addressing the issue head on. Other times it's a subtler, more horse whisperer approach, waiting for the right moment to guide the player. One of his go-to questions is simple but effective. Are you playing at your best? By asking players to rate their performance on a scale of 1 to 10, he can gauge where they think they stand. If a player rates themselves highly, it shows they're confident. But if not, it's an opening to dig deeper and explore what's holding them back. Richardson's journey into psychology started after his career as a player ended. With a psychology degree already in hand, he took a leap and shifted his focus completely, believing his experiences gave him a unique perspective. And after a decade in this new role, he's certain it was the right move. For Richardson, helping players is more than just a job. It's about making them see that there's always room to improve, both physically and mentally. With the right support, players can push their boundaries, overcome their mental hurdles, and truly perform at their best. Lee Richardson's approach as a sports psychologist is all about planning and problem solving for players, drawing from his years as a former coach and manager. He doesn't just focus on the technical side of football. Instead, he helps players map out their mental strategies and develop a mindset that'll get them where they want to be. For him, it's about sitting down with players one-on-one and helping them figure out what they want to achieve and how they can get there. When players struggle, he's there to help them identify what's holding them back and come up with practical solutions. But he's also aware that not every player is open to this kind of work. Some love the individualized attention, while others prefer to keep things to themselves. This is why he positions himself as a resource that's there when they're ready. When Richardson first joined Liverpool, the manager introduced him as someone the players could turn to whenever they felt they needed it. He's not there to interfere, but to provide support that's built around the players' schedules. Whether it's a quick chat to work through a tough spot or helping them plan their goals for the season, he's available to help however he can. For him, it's not just about addressing issues as they arise, it's about being proactive, helping players mentally prepare, and making them feel confident in their game. By being approachable and open, he's created a safe space for players to work on the mental side of their game, whenever they choose.